Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving deep into the annals of history to uncover some pretty wild beauty standards from the past. Standards that might just make you grateful for living in 2024. Because, let's be real, sometimes we get caught up in the pressures of today's beauty ideals. But trust me, things could be a whole lot different. From the Egyptians to the Renaissance, we're about to explore how different cultures defined beauty. We're talking bizarre rituals, painful practices, and fashion trends that would make even the most adventurous fashionista think twice. Buckle up, because we're about to uncover the fascinating and sometimes cringeworthy ways that beauty has been perceived throughout history. So, get ready to learn about ancient civilizations' obsession with elongated heads, impossibly small feet, and even blackened teeth. By the end of this video, you might just find yourself appreciating the beauty standards of 2024 a little bit more. And hey, you might even learn a thing or two about history along the way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future deep dives into the fascinating world of history and culture. Let's get started. Let's kick things off in ancient Egypt, a civilization practically synonymous with elaborate beauty rituals. When we think of ancient Egypt, images of Cleopatra with her dramatic eye makeup often come to mind. But those weren't just fashion statements, they were practical too. Egyptians living under the scorching desert sun knew a thing or two about protection. Enter kohl eyeliner, a staple in ancient Egyptian beauty routines for both men and women. Made from a blend of minerals like galena and malachite, kohl was ground into a fine powder and applied with intricate tools. And let me tell you, these Egyptians were masters of the cat-eye flick long before it became a modern makeup trend. But here's the thing about kohl. It wasn't just about enhancing those already stunning eyes. This dark, smoky liner served a dual purpose. It acted as a shield against the harsh glare of the sun, reducing eye strain and protecting those precious peepers from harmful UV rays. Think of it as ancient sunscreen, but for your eyelids. And if that wasn't enough, kohl also had some surprising medical benefits. The Egyptians believed, and rightly so, that kohl possessed antibacterial properties. Applying kohl around the eyes helped prevent eye infections, which were quite common in the dusty desert environment. Talk about a beauty product that does it all. It's fascinating to think how something we consider purely aesthetic today, like eyeliner, was an essential part of daily life in ancient Egypt. It makes you wonder what everyday items we use today might be considered historical artifacts in the future. But the Egyptians weren't the only ones with beauty secrets up their sleeves. Let's journey eastward to ancient China, where we encounter a beauty standard that's a bit more foot-binding. Our next stop takes us to ancient China, where we encounter a beauty standard that's as fascinating as it is unsettling foot-binding. This practice is not for the faint of heart. For centuries, young girls endured a painful practice to achieve tiny, arched feet known as lotus feet. The process began at a young age, breaking the bones and tightly binding them. Ouch! This excruciating process could last for years. Toes were curled under and bound tightly, deforming the foot, resulting in feet only 3 to 4 inches in length. Small feet were considered incredibly attractive and a status symbol. Women with bound feet were seen as more desirable for marriage. But this beauty came at a hefty price: chronic pain and lifelong health problems. The practice was finally outlawed in the early 20th century, a stark reminder of how beauty standards can impact the human body. Chapter 3. Black is the New White, the Story of Ohaguro. From the tiny feet of China, we travel eastward once again, this time to the land of the rising sun, Japan. Here we encounter another unique beauty practice that might raise a few eyebrows. Ohaguro, the art of teeth blackening. Now, if you're thinking pearly whites are the gold standard of dental aesthetics, prepare for a culture shock. In stark contrast to the Western world's obsession with bright white smiles, ancient Japan embraced a completely different ideal. Teeth dyed black as night. Ohaguro, meaning blackened teeth, involved a meticulous process of applying a special dye to the teeth, turning them a deep, glossy black. This dye, known as kanamizu, was a potent concoction made from iron filings, vinegar and tannins, usually derived from tea or nuts. This wasn't just some teenage trend, mind you. Ohaguro was a practice deeply ingrained in Japanese culture for centuries, spanning from the Heian period to the Edo period. Both men and women, particularly those of elite status, participated in this custom. But why black? Well, in ancient Japan, black teeth were considered incredibly attractive, symbolizing beauty, maturity, and even marital status. Think of it as the ancient Japanese equivalent of a wedding ring. Black teeth were seen as a sign of civilization and sophistication, distinguishing the Japanese from what they perceived as barbarians with white teeth. While the practice gradually declined after the Meiji era due to Western influence, it's another striking example of how beauty standards can differ dramatically across cultures and throughout history. Chapter 4. Corseted and compressed. The Renaissance ideal. Now, let's fast forward a few centuries and hop over to Europe, where the Renaissance is in full swing. This era, known for its artistic and intellectual flourishing, also gave rise to some interesting beauty standards, particularly when it came to the female silhouette. Enter the corset, a garment that needs no introduction. This tightly laced undergarment became all the rage during the Renaissance, cinching waists, pushing up busts, and sculpting the female body into the desired hourglass shape. We're talking waists so tiny you could practically span them with your hands. But achieving this idealized figure came at a price. Corsets were notoriously restrictive, often laced so tightly that they could cause a whole host of health problems. Think difficulty breathing, compressed organs, and even deformed ribs. Talk about suffering for fashion. But hey, beauty is pain, right? At least that's what it seemed like during the Renaissance. A tiny waist was seen as a sign of beauty, elegance, and even virtue. It was a symbol of high social standing, as only wealthy women who didn't have to perform manual labor could afford to wear such restrictive garments. The corset remained a staple in women's fashion for centuries, evolving in design and tightness, but always with the goal of achieving that coveted hourglass figure. It's a reminder that the pursuit of beauty often comes with sacrifices, some more extreme than others. Chapter 5. Shaping Minds and Skulls, the Mayan Elongated Head. For our final stop on this journey through history's beauty standards, we're heading across the Atlantic to the Americas, where the ancient Mayan civilization flourished. Now get ready for this one, because it involves intentionally altering the shape of one's skull. You heard that right, skull shaping. The Mayans, known for their advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics and art, also had a unique beauty standard: elongated heads. They believed that a head elongated in a specific way was a sign of beauty, intelligence, and even a closer connection to the gods. To achieve this elongated look, Mayan infants would have their heads bound shortly after birth. This practice, known as cranial deformation, involved applying pressure to the skull using wooden boards or tightly wrapped cloth. Over time, this constant pressure would gradually mold the soft, pliable skull of an infant into the desired shape. Imagine being considered more beautiful because your head was shaped differently. It's a stark reminder that beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder, or in this case, the culture. The practice of cranial deformation was not unique to the Maya. It was practiced by various cultures worldwide throughout history. But it's yet another example of how far people have gone in pursuit of beauty ideals. So there you have it. 5 shocking ancient beauty standards that might just make you appreciate the beauty norms of 2024 a little bit more. From foot binding in China to skull shaping in ancient Maya, we've seen how cultures throughout history have gone to extraordinary lengths to conform to their own unique beauty ideals. It makes you think, doesn't it? What beauty practices do we have today that future generations might find shocking, bizarre, or even downright painful? It's a reminder that beauty is constantly evolving, shaped by cultural norms, societal pressures, and even technological advancements. What's considered beautiful in one culture or time period might be seen as strange or even repulsive in another. And that's okay. Beauty is subjective, personal, and constantly changing. So, the next time you find yourself comparing your appearance to others or feeling the pressure to conform to certain beauty standards, remember this journey through history. Remember that beauty is not one size fits all, and what truly matters is feeling comfortable and confident in your own skin. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Until next time, stay curious.